guess it's back to talking about intention. What are you doing when you do what you're doing? From the derivation of it. The flash arms is meant to be almost like repulsing the monkey. You're giving and you're taking, okay? That's one thing. So when you're coming from down here, coming up, this hand will ultimately, what it wants to do is do this. Whether you come up and do this, or whether you come do this, the function is to protect the head and to use a grasping block. So you're coming from here, okay? Doesn't have to be too high, you just have to be not down here, and you don't want to be back here. You want to protect your head, and you want to do this. So it doesn't have to be although we say it, flash arms like a fan, most fans don't go one this way a little bit and out that way, but our fans sort of a little asymmetric. You see, I'm not out here, I'm right about here, because I want to protect this. And at the same token, by the same time, we're coming up here. Okay, so you came from this position, you turned, yeah, and then you went back out again. So in answer to Mel's question is the old story. How do we move about? Advancement. We did a little bit of this, but we came from this straight on, we came back up, see? And back, forward. And you don't have to turn a whole bunch because you're almost in neutral position, but you're giving some power here, you're giving some power forward. Okay? Sorry? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Obviously, my wife's trying to remind me of the core. Certainly, the power of it's here, lifting up. This is a rather small excursion, but what is happening? Advancement. Yeah. From here to here, advancement. But from here, I didn't come straight up and do this. I went down, turn. Yeah? Well, I'm sorry. Down, up. So I'm no longer, I came from this position, straight on, slight rotation, slight rotation advancement. Okay? Not a full, I think a lot of moving about, just got to think how much rotation versus how much advancement. And it's really a combination of both, depending on, and how much of one versus the other depends on the movement.
When we use our core, our hands go for the ride. So that's the point that I wanted to say. We're not so worried about, we do know the end point, then in that it doesn't extend beyond our shoulder. But if we are looking at our core, and the core's dictating our movement, and we're shifting our weight, that's it. It just opens, it unfolds pretty naturally. Then you say, okay, I know when to stop because my foot is flush to the bottom, and it's even, and I'm done. So in other words, if my foot, the weight of the shifting of the foot of the front dictates it, I cannot come down and then this is just a hand motion. But if I come down, come up, out, heel, shift my weight, I then end. I don't know, it just happens that way, okay? So you might want to just not look at minutia and just say, my core will take me there. And if my core doesn't take me there to my satisfaction, I can tweak it a little bit. But make your core work for you. Make your mind work for you. And then reevaluate, okay? Don't start with the smaller thing, okay? Although you do keep that in the back of your mind and use it in an advantageous way, okay? All right. So sometimes when we instruct, it's difficult because we're looking for each little itty bitty step, then we try to blend it together. But to me, if you get the bird's eye view and then you just flow with the music, more than likely it'll come together in a better way. Then we can tweak it, okay? All right, so we have about 10 minutes. So let's show me the difference between parting of the wild horse's mane and warding off. Okay, what's the difference between, think it through, what's the difference between parting of the wild horse's mane and how you ward off?